Baik penonton, kembali bersama kami. Pada minggu ini juga akan berlangsung satu penganjuran program berskala antarabangsa bagi bidang penyiaran, iaitu Abu Con-Fest 2025. Dan hari ini kita akan menembual dua tetamu antarabangsa kita. Yang pertama adalah Naim Ramin, penolong eksekutif bahagian program Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, dan kita juga bersama dengan Tuan Andrew Davis yang merupakan ketua program Radio Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, dan kita selepas ini akan berbicara dan berdiskusi dalam bahasa Inggeris, Johaida.
Okay, Mr. Andrew and Mr. Naim, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for being with us today in the studio. It's appropriate for us to begin the conversation today, giving them a brief introduction on what ABU is as an organisation and what do you do?
Yes, so the ABU stands for the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. So the ABU has been around for 60 years, so it has a very fantastic history as an organisation, and we really serve. We have 230 members in 65 countries, so everything from the Pacific through to Central Asia, Southeast Asia, through to across the globe in this part of the world. And the ABU really is about excellence in broadcasting and promoting the collective interests of our members. And our members range from, as I say, across the region. So we're very much focused on things like training, on strategy, on events like Con-Fest, so bringing our members together to help learn, support and network. So we play a really valuable role in almost like a unifying voice in the region.
All right. So next week you are holding an event called Con-Fest on 8 to 10th July. Maybe you can explain to us what exactly is Con-Fest.
Okay, so Con-Fest is the short form for Content Festival. So it is an event where we gather content makers, producers, directors into one place to exchange ideas and share knowledge. So during this year's Con-Fest, it will be mostly participated by ABU members and other media practitioners in internationally and locally. So over there, we'll be, talk about discussions on the current landscape of media and talk about the new era of content creation. So on the first day, which is the 8th of July, we'll be having a workshop and showcase on podcasting, which Andrew himself will be heading in the morning session. And in the afternoon session, we'll have panelists from different podcasting background where they will discuss and share ideas about their own podcasting journey. So on the second and third day, which is the 9th and 10th July, we'll be focusing more on talks and discussions on making content and producing, and also having more relevant details about how we try to help our members, especially to be up to date into the current landscape of the media.
Okey, kita bagi terjemahan sikitlah. ABU Con-Fest ni adalah merupakan satu perhimpunan mereka yang berada dalam bidang penyiaran, dan ABU ini ada lebih 230 members altogether.
That's right.
230 ahli daripada seluruh negara yang akan berkumpul untuk berkongsi pandangan dan juga idea mereka tentang bidang penyiaran. Tapi tahun ni saya difahamkan apa yang dikongsikan oleh Encik Naim adalah berkisarkan hari pertamanya itu 8 Julai itu adalah berkenaan podcast.
Betul.
Jadi saya rasa sesuai untuk anak-anak kat luar sana yang nak jadi influencer kononnya itu kan. Mungkin boleh cuba di bidang podcast untuk mengetahui dengan lebih lanjut kan.
Betul.
Okay, Mr. Andrew, can you explain to us what are the kind of preparations that you have prepared for yourself for this upcoming Con-Fest?
Well, it's been a lot of work in terms. We have over 60 speakers coming to this year's event from across the region, and as Naim said, we're doing a podcast workshop on the 8th, and then we're going to have a range of talks and discussions that will cover everything from dynamic drama production through to AI, because you can't do an event these days without talking about AI, but it's important, and that'll be aimed more at the content level, not at a technical level. We'll have sessions about social media and digital media, which is very important for our members, and just understanding what is happening in the landscape. So it'll really cover all aspects of video, audio and digital content, which is the reflection of the modern media environment.
Ya, bukan saja kepada tadi kita bercakap tentang podcast ya. Kita akan lihat kepada integrasi AI dalam bidang penyiaran juga, dalam drama, dan juga apa yang berlaku dalam dunia digital sekarang ini. Itu yang dikongsikan oleh Tuan Andrew sebentar tadi. Dan akan berbalik kepada Tuan Naim, maybe you can share with us the theme of this event and what will happen during the 3 days of the program.
Okay, the theme for this year's event is called Producing Dramatic Content. So this year we'll talk about more on the production process of making dramatic content. So we'll bringing in speakers from Turkish radio television, TRT Turkey, where they are popular for making historical dramas, as you know. And also we had them for last year's Con-Fest, and they received a lot of appraisals from our attendees. So this year around, we're trying to bring them back and try to maybe give them more time to explain in detail on how the process of making stunning visual effects and sound design. So our highlight for this year's Con-Fest is having Mark Fennell, He's a journalist, a filmmaker and producer. He has successfully adapted his popular podcast series called The Stuff the British Stole, which is then adapted to television. So it's quite great to have him. I think Andrew is major part of bringing him in. And also he will be joining us for the panel discussion as well on the second day. And he will share about his podcast journey making Stuff the British Stole. So,
Okay, topik podcast tu menarik. Because previously, it's an annual program, right, this Abu Con-Fest, and previously we do talk about podcasts as well, or this is the first time that you're going to be having this?
This is the first year for me for Con-Fest, so I don't know as much history as Naeem and other colleagues, but my understanding is there has been maybe some discussion of podcasts, but not as much as this year.
Yes, Andrew, because podcasting is a very hot topic right now. Everyone's talking about podcasts. Even Shu herself has her own podcast.
I know.
You should know. Maybe you should try check it out.
Yeah.
So maybe you can share with us what is the impact of having podcasts on this day's scenario and also our media industry?
It's a really good question. I think, look, podcasting is really, it seems taking off here in Malaysia certainly, but other parts of Asia. In other parts of the world, it's already growing particularly strongly. So the workshop is going to cover everything that is around podcasting for people who are new to podcasting, but hopefully there's things there that people will take up who already have some understanding of podcasting. So it'll cover things like the casting of your show, so the person you have behind the microphone, about video podcasts, about distribution, discoverability, which is a big challenge for podcasting, and also video, because podcasts are becoming audio and video. It's not just one or the other. And so it'll cover that. And in terms of the landscape, it'll cover some key facts and figures about how fast podcasting is growing, both globally and in Malaysia. I think that's important for people to understand. So it'll give people a sense of best practice approaches to podcasting, I think, which would be great.
Dalam bengkel ini, apa yang diceritakan oleh Tuan Andrew ketika tadi adalah tujuannya untuk memastikan agar ekosistem podcast di Malaysia sentiasa bercambah lah, ya. Jadi workshop ini bukan untuk mereka yang sudah mempunyai siaran podcast, tapi untuk mereka yang ingin menceburi bidang podcast. Juga ini adalah bermanfaat untuk anda semua dan ada pelbagai cabaran yang akan dibincangkan sewaktu bengkel itu nantilah. But who are the key speakers during the podcast session?
So, well, you're going to be one of the speakers during the podcast session. So
I will be one of the specialists.
Amazing. Whoa. I just know the surprise. Oh my God. I'm surprised right now.
We're going to be together. We're going to be sharing the same stage next week.
We are. So I feel like this is a dress rehearsal.
Exactly. I thought to do when I saw your name.
So, apart from Shahada, which would be fantastic, we have some other speakers. Abid Hussain, who makes a podcast to a company called Creative Stew. We have another podcaster from RTM, DJ Q, I think from RTM.
Datuk Suhaimi, don't forget.
Datuk Suhaimi is speaking, but not as a part of the podcast session, but as part of the main event, and we're very excited to have him speak. He's a fantastic speaker. Mark Fennell, as Naeem mentioned, is a podcaster, he's a filmmaker, he's a journalist, so he crosses so many aspects of the media. So he's a very modern media maker. He will be part of the podcast showcase. And also Justine Kelly, who works for the ABC in Australia, will also be part of that. So we'll have a range of different speakers who can share their experiences, which is very important.
Amazing key speakers, including you, Shahada.
Yes.
Thank you for not letting me know. All right, so back to Naeem. Maybe you can share to us who should attend this workshop and what will they get from going and having this discussion with this Abu Con-Fest.
So we highly recommend producers, directors, content makers and broadcasters. So we target to exchange and learn aspects of podcasting, successful drama production, latest AI trends and tools. And we are also going to introduce digital platforms because we are talking about digital integration nowadays from traditional broadcasting to the new form of broadcasting. So that includes RRI Digital from Radio Indonesia. And of course, RTM's digital platform, RTM Click. Over there, we'll also have a display area where we have booths, and RTM is actually one of the exhibitors over there. They took 2 booths over there where they will promote RTM Click and also the upcoming super teleseries Sri Kandi, which is going to air, expected to air this August.
What are the topics that are going to be talked about during the 3 days workshop? I mean, the first day is the podcast, right? So we have balanced 2 more days. It's going to be targeting on the broadcast world, drama, film.
Everything. So radio, television, video, audio, the whole spectrum. So we'll have sessions on sound design. So that's both in television and audio, which is so important. We'll have sessions, as Naeem said, on dynamic drama production. We'll have sessions on AI, particularly at a content level, not a technical level. We'll have sessions on digital and social content. We'll have sessions on training and collaboration. That's an important area. Training, because the media environment is changing so quickly, it's so important for people to keep their skills up to date. So that will be an important aspect. So it's really a question of what we're not covering, to be honest, because there's so many things over 3 days.
That's so true. Saya bertanyakan Tuan Andrews ketika dia apakah antara pengisian selama 3 hari lah sampai podcast akan cerita berkenaan AI dan juga dari sudut latihan sebenarnya sebab kita sekarang ni penuh dengan teknologi di media digital ini. Jadi kita perlu menyediakan kepakaran-kepakaran yang beberapa langkah ke hadapan untuk memastikan agar industri penyiaran kita sentiasa bercampur.
Betul juga, dan kita juga ingin berkongsi kepada penonton dan juga anda yang ingin menyertai Abu Con-Fest ini, di mana kita akan membawakan banyak produser kan, mereka yang menerbitkan filem juga untuk bersama-sama untuk kita melahirkan konten yang lebih dekat dan juga relevan kepada hati penonton.
Okey, kita Mr. Naim, to the people out there, can they still join this Abu Con-Fest, or is it specifically to some people who are able to join this?
You can still join if you're interested. We still have a few more slots left.
Oh, that's a good news then.
Yeah, that's a good news.
How do they do the registration?
Including me, I want to join also.
Please come. Looking forward to have you. So if you would like to join this event, please send an email to pd@abu.org.my. Or if you want to know more, you can visit our website confest.abu.org.my.
Okay, Mr. Andrew, what are the things that you're being hopeful,
the people will learn or take away? I think the main thing is that people who are new to podcasting will really come away from the sessions with an understanding of what podcasting is and how they can start a podcast and grow a podcast. And also particularly just that sense of learning and shared understanding. I think that's so important because we have people coming from so many countries and regions. So that shared understanding of coming together, meeting other people, learning from other people, and then bringing that knowledge back to their organisations is very important.
That's very important. Maybe Naim can share with us what are the major differences between the last year's event compared to this year's event?
Oh, so much different.
So much difference.
Yeah.
Tell us about.
Andrew is the first time Con-Fest for this year, but I can tell him that this is much better than last year.
All right. In what sense?
In sense of like it's much bigger.
All right.
We're trying to bring in more people, and it's more refreshing. We just changed the logo for this year's Con-Fest, and last year we had like separate segments. Like for day one is TV Con, for second day is Radio Sonic.
Yeah.
I think I don't know because she was an MC as well for ABU Digital on the third
Now
day.
she's going to be the panelist. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So this year we're not having those separation anymore. We're trying to combine all of these elements because we're speaking about today's landscape of media where everything is integrated. Even TV and radio can be into digital platforms.
Exactly.
So all the best to Andrew, Naim, and also to you, Shuhaida. All the best.
I'll see you guys next week.
Alright, terima kasih kepada anda yang sedia bersama kami hari ini. Kita dah berkongsi kepada anda berkaitan dengan pelbagai topik daripada bio sampailah hari ini, dan juga perkongsian ketika ini adalah berkaitan dengan Abu Con-Fest yang akan berlangsung pada minggu hadapan.
Okey, jangan lupa untuk saksikan konsert Suara 34 yang akan dilaksanakan. Ini dia posternya untuk zon tengah. Ramai artis menarik. Saya nampak ada gambar Sonic dekat situ.
Ya, sebagai pengacaranya pasti. Yang akan berlangsung pada 5 Julai, Sabtu pada jam 8 malam. Jadi terima kasih kepada anda yang setia bersama kami. Untuk itu saya Irfan Syamil Nasution.
Dan saya Shuhaida Arifin. Sehingga kita berjumpa lagi.
Assalamualaikum.
Cintaku, ku serasa segala milikmu.